What's up guys, Jaco here, and the Rayman in the Phantom Show DLC for Mario + Rabbids Sparks of Hope has finally arrived, and I have already 100%ed it, and I'm going to talk about why I think not only the DLC, but also just this game in general is fantastic, and one of my favorites of all time. Before that though, I'm just gonna say thank you all for the support on my first technically 4 videos, 2 of them were shorts. There's so many of y'all viewing the videos, liking, commenting, having discussions in the comments. It was great, it was cool. I read pretty much all of them, and it's great to see. For the first thing about this DLC, I'm just going to talk about basically the little story and everything going on. So, Rayman is finally back here. Him, Rabbid Mario, Rabbid Peach, and Beebo got invited by the Phantom. Yes, he's finally back, it's sick. To a movie studio kind of thing with the Space Opera Network, and we have to bring his views up. And we get to go to 3 interesting sets with Western, medieval fantasy, and like pirate themed. And each of those have interesting battles, well, for the most part. Which is one of my only gripes about this DLC is that there's not many battles, especially in those 3 movie sets. But the battles, for the most part, are good, so it's not too bad. And also, it makes 100%ing the DLC a little bit easier, because 100%ing the DLC can be a little bit of a pain, because, well, I don't actually know if this is required for 100% completion, I'm assuming it is getting the golden quote-unquote trophy for each level. I'm assuming it's part of it, because, well, it's there in the progression, and you have to get 14 of them. And some of the battles can be tricky, especially in the first playthrough. So you might have to go back later on to be able to meet the requirements for it, but it's still not bad. And the battles are at least interesting, like, of course, spoilers coming up. So if you don't want to view spoilers, I don't know, just click off or something. But there's interesting fights, like the giant flaming stooge being like a dragon. The Western one, not really, it just introduces a new enemy type, which I guess is fine. And then for the pirate set, you fight a kraken. Quote unquote, it is a cardboard cutout, but still. I think they're pretty interesting fights and cool and stuff. And what makes the DLC even more diverse in terms of gameplay is Rayman himself. He has such an interesting kit with changing costumes and getting different abilities and stuff depending on which costume you choose. Of course, it makes it so he can't use sparks, but I think that's a fine compensation. Just because it's something unique and different, which is really cool to explore and find out. And then before I talk about the final boss, the side quests, they're your usual side quests in Sparks of Hope. Just some battles / exploratory things. They're good. But for the final boss with Phantom, I think the Phantom final boss is actually really sick. Yes, they use some elements from the first game, but I think that just enhances it even more. Just adapting from the first game. Because it's like a cool throwback with destroying the spotlights. And I think it's really cool the fact that he has 3 phases with different genres of music, with the first one being jazz-like, the second one being rock, and then the third one being his normal self for the finale. And how the music changes, which is really sick. And for the final phase, it's like reminiscent of his original fight, with like a similar vibe and theme to the music for that final phase. I think it's really cool. And also Beebo's reaction to seeing Phantom and like his reaction to the final boss fight with Phantom. It's so funny.
The Phantom! He must have brought us here to get revenge for humiliating him at Spooky Trails! If this greedy songbird is to sing his swan song, we must find a way to turn off those lights!
Overall, I've 100%ed this DLC, which means I have 100%ed everything in Sparks of Hope. With this new DLC actually being a new record time for me. This DLC, along with the other DLCs and the base game, have made this game one of my favorites of all time. With its amazing gameplay, amazing music, story, visuals, and just the overall vibe it gives, it's amazing. If you haven't played this game, I would 100% recommend it. It's super fun, super cool, and one of my favorites of all time. Now, as a little end segment to it, I'm just going to talk about this channel real quick. Now that Sparks of Hope is over, this channel was never supposed to be full on Sparks of Hope. It's just kind of has been for this beginning part, talk about the Rayman DLC. But my plan is to do other stuff, like other Mario games, like Mario Kart, like maybe I could play Mario Bros. Wonder or Super Mario RPG, doing challenge runs of like Pokemon games, like Scarlet and Violet or something. I actually had a base game Sparks of Hope challenge that I was gonna upload before the Rayman DLC came out, but due to some issues I was not able to do it. But I do plan on uploading that, and likely in the future other challenge runs of Sparks of Hope as well, and not just other Mario games. So I'm still gonna have Mario plus Rabbids content throughout the content pool, I guess we can call it. Also, I did see some of y'all in the comment section saying how I should play a Rayman game and all that, and it might be doable. I might do a playthrough of a Rayman game one day on the channel, just because of this DLC and some of y'all are asking for it. So I might do that. But either way, if you enjoyed this video, then like, subscribe, I guess. that's what people say nowadays, right? And all I'm gonna say is this game is amazing, and I hope that we get another entry into the Mario plus Rabbids, I guess, genre of games. But either way, I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.